So now that we've touched briefly on wallets and how to actually get a Bitcoin wallet, it's time that we talk about how to actually purchase Bitcoin anonymously. This is a very important topic in this course because buying things off darknet markets is largely what the dark web is used for. So if you want to use darknet markets and actually purchase products, you're going to need to be able to purchase your Bitcoin and transfer it anonymously without it being linked to anything that identifies who you are. So if you do want to purchase anonymously, there are a few different options you can explore. The first one I have pulled up here is actually called Bitcoin ATMs. Now, Bitcoin ATMs are very useful because it's usually cash for Bitcoin or a card for Bitcoin, but it's still fairly anonymous. The cash for Bitcoin is going to be the best option though, and some of them do it, some of them don't. It just depends on which ATM is near you. And this is a good website to actually find some of those ATMs. It's coinatmradar.com. So you can see they're all around the world, a lot of options for different people. Unfortunately, if you're located like in India, mostly the Middle East area, you're not going to find as many. But there are definitely, if you're in the US or even the United Kingdom, or most of Europe, you will have a lot of different options there. So this would be something that's pretty useful to find. I'll go ahead and just take a look at some of them really quickly just to show you kind of what they look like. They all do different things, so it's important to note you can actually filter based off of what coin you want. So if you just want Bitcoin, you can go ahead and do that. We'll do just ATMs. So usually it can be an ATM or a teller. A teller would be like a cashier. You give them cash and then they print out a receipt with a seed or a wallet number that you basically put in to receive your money or something like that. So let's see here. So now it's just pretty much Bitcoin and then ATM. And if we zoom out, you can see there's a lot less options for just Bitcoin ATMs, not that much less actually, but it's good to know all of these things as well if you ever use Ether, Dash, Litecoin, Dogecoin, anything like that. Good to know about and good to know how to use, but that's a pretty useful option, definitely a go-to, kind of easier than any other options for anonymous buying. But you can also go to what's called localbitcoins.com. Local Bitcoins is basically getting Bitcoins person to person. Usually you have to do some sort of like cash deposit like it shows here as some sort of like Wells Fargo or a credit union or just something like that. So not a very difficult process, but usually when doing those cash deposits, it does require some sort of identification. So not the most preferred way, but you really just have to see through here. They take them a bunch of different ways. They always will accept different forms of payment. It's not always cash. Some people do different stuff than just this. And as far as your anonymity, this one generally is going to be the best way to go. The Bitcoin ATMs are pretty good too, but of course these locations may have cameras or things like that. So it's these tiny little things that could leave a trail that could lead to you. So you just are looking for the most secure possible, and usually cash to Bitcoin is going to be the safest. But those are the two main ways to actually purchase Bitcoin anonymously. I'm not going to go through the whole process through here. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You can go to these sites and follow the information, and there are plenty of resources online as well to learn more about this. I didn't want to dive too deep into it because that's not really what we're focusing on in this course, but you should definitely be familiar with it, and if you do want to purchase things from darknet markets, you want to be able to know how to do this and get it anonymously. So hopefully that gave you a better understanding of purchasing Bitcoin anonymously. And that'll pretty much wrap up our Bitcoin section of this course. It was a little shorter than the other sections, but that's because most of this information is very widely available, so there's no reason to go over what you could find on a quick search anyways. If you have any questions, of course, you can look around online or just ask me directly. Otherwise, head to the next section of the course to get hands-on with PGP or pretty good privacy, and to learn how to send messages that are encrypted so other people can't read or understand them.